Preston Waters had to be considered one of the boldest kids in America. I mean, the dude talked back to his parents. He got a blank check and put $1 million on that boy. He took it straight to the bank in person and said, cash this baby. Before we really get started, I just want to say the FBI investigation didn't make any sense. Shay Stanley, the FBI agent posing as a bank teller, was already in place the first time Preston stepped into the bank. This was before the blank check was written. This was before the character Macintosh was put out there. So why was she there in the first place? The movie opens up with Preston's big brothers moving into his room. They started a business and the father decided that they needed more room, Preston's room. To add insult to injury, his father is talking at him as if he's just some bummy ass 26-year-old sitting in the house. The boy just turned 10. To make matters worse, Preston is forced to go to Butch's birthday party, the kid that bullies him for being poor. Now, these people stayed in a nice crib in a nice neighborhood, but somehow they were still poor. And I could see where they got that from because his father sent him to the amusement park with $6. As soon as Preston gets to the amusement park, Butch starts on him, roasting our boy to no regard. And Preston told his father he didn't want to go, and I don't know why his father decided not to listen. I guess they wanted the kid out the house. Probably wanted to do it or something. Needless to say, Preston has a miserable time at the amusement park. He doesn't have enough money to really ride the rides, and obviously he couldn't eat while he was there because wasn't really no money in his pockets. The next day, Preston takes his grandmother's check to the bank in order to open up an account. He is told then by Shay that he doesn't have enough and he needs $200. At the same time, Quigley is meeting with Biederman. Quigley stole money back in the day, and Biederman turned him in, which caused Quigley to take some jail time. Now he wants Biederman to clean the money that he has, and Biederman sets him up with a little account. He lets him know that he's going to have somebody come in the next day and to take all the cash out. It's $1 million in total. But on his way out, Butch steals Preston's check and decides to run away with it. They are both on bikes, but Preston's bike is raggedy. The bike ends up malfunctioning behind Quigley's car. Quigley runs over the bike and causes a commotion. Quigley, trying to get out of there before the police notice, writes a really quick check for Preston, but he forgets to fill out the amount. Preston takes the check home and scans it into his computer and gets to playing around with the amount of money he should try to get. He starts off with 1,000 to 10,000 until he gets up to 1,000,000. Now, when I say this kid is bold, this kid is bold. Not only does he print out this $1 million check, but he takes it in personally to the bank to cash that boy. The bank teller takes one look at this and immediately calls Biederman, the bank manager, over as she believes the kid is playing around. Biederman takes him back to the office and begins to fill up the boy's book bag with money. At the same time, the real person who was supposed to pick up that money, Juice, played by Tone Loc, is on his way. As Preston is leaving, he bumps into Juice and drops his bag. Juice helps him up, and our boy makes it out of there like a thief in the night. When Juice gets to Biederman's office, they start to put two and two together and figure out that Preston wasn't the one that was supposed to have $1 million. It was Juice. So now they're on the hunt for this kid who's sitting on $1 million cash. At the same time, Quigley is trying to buy the house up the street from Preston, and Preston is on the phone doing the same thing. When I tell you that kid was bold, that kid was bold. He stole that boy's money and bought a crib right up under him with the same bread. Preston then orders a limousine service to take him shopping. They head to the store and they have some of the best time I've ever seen in a mall. To this day, I want to know where that mall is because they were out here in Austin, Texas, and I haven't seen any of that stuff. But I digress. As they're driving back home, Preston sees Shay, the beautiful bank teller, and he has the driver, Henry, pull over. He spits game to this grown woman. Again, that kid was bold, and I appreciate it. And this is where we figure out that she was an FBI agent. Again, we have no idea what she is investigating at this point. I'm guessing it had to do something with Biederman, but at the end of the movie, it didn't seem like it. But whatever. Preston is telling everybody that he's working for a guy named McIntosh. And nobody seems to bat an eye that this 10-year-old kid has a job working for this mysterious person. Everybody's just like, oh, okay, bet. That's what's up. It's weird to me, but, I guess it was a different time in the 90s. Preston took this cash and hooked this crib up to like a different degree, like a kid's paradise. He set up a waterfall, a VR gaming room, just all kind of monitors and whatnot. An outside park. It was basically an amusement park in the neighborhood. He then employs his brothers just to kind of boss him around and beat him up a bit. That was kind of a boss move because he was tired of their asses. Once Quigley found out that his money had been took, they went on the hunt for the kid, and he ended up having a run-in with them at the park. He luckily made a great escape and got out the way, but Juice, Quigley, and Biederman are now on his head. They've seen him, so now they're trying to find him and get the money before he spends it all. Little do they know, he done spent a good chunk of it already. Preston sets up this major birthday bash for McIntosh, who happens to have the same exact birthday as our boy. He invites everybody, and it is an extravagant affair. The problem is, everybody's expecting to see McIntosh, and he's kind of being brushed off to the side even though it's his party on the cool. He's kind of upset and he's getting bummed out because now he's realizing that people only want to deal with McIntosh and not him. He gets so frustrated that he tells the whole party that McIntosh is broke and doesn't have any money. And people get up out of there quickly. And they take their gifts back, which was crazy. It's crazy what people will do for you when they think you have money and you can help them out. So everybody kind of disperses. The problem is Biederman, Quigley, and Juice are high on Preston's tail. And now he doesn't have any witnesses because everybody's left the party. So we get this big end of the movie chase scene where these guys chase him around the entire estate trying to beat his ass or something. I don't know what they was going to do. It really wasn't clear. But they were looking for McIntosh as well. And when they finally catch up with Preston, he lets them know, I made McIntosh up. He doesn't exist. And for a moment they were upset, but then Biederman hits them with, yo, this kid created a whole new persona for you. McIntosh can run for mayor in this town. Quigley can't. So as Quigley is kind of getting into the idea of becoming McIntosh, the FBI pull up. And they ask, where's McIntosh? Who's McIntosh? And that's when Quigley says, I'm McIntosh. And then they tell him he's under arrest for a slew of crimes, which don't really make sense when you look at the movie. The dude, McIntosh, really just spent cash. So, yeah, there was a question of where that money came from, but money laundering and all the other crimes that they put on the kid didn't make any sense. But, all wells that end well because our boy Preston got up out of that jam without any issue. He makes it back home just in time to eat cake and ice cream with his parents. Henry had pulled back up with a thing of ice cream for him. But, I don't know, the whole movie, his family was kind of shitty. And I guess in that moment, it was better than being kidnapped and beat by Juice and Quigley. So I guess he decided I was better deal with these assholes than them assholes. And the movie pretty much ends there. I guess the moral of the story is a family that kind of cares about you is a lot better than a bunch of strangers who don't care about nothing but the money you give them. I mean, look at Shay. She let Preston take her out on a date and she ain't want nothing but to find out where all the money was coming from. Yeah, it might have been for the FBI investigation, but she's still a gold digging hussy to me. At the end of the movie, Preston got a kiss on the lips from Shay, the FBI agent. And as a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. But like looking at it in adult eyes, yeah, she should have been to jail too. She should have had a cell right next to Quigley, because what was that? If you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching my review. Love you.
Go hard or go home. Well, nigga, I'm homeless. Go hard or go home. Damn, my keys broke. Go hard or go home. Well, nigga, I'm homeless. Go hard or go home. Damn, my keys broke.
Hey, come back.
Pizza.